Hello everyone, and today we're back into another top 5 video, and we're going to be talking about the top 5 Sap Plant Loomians in all of Loomian Legacy. So Sap Plant is a move that drains the health of the opposing Loomian while giving yourself health back. And it's going to be the Loomians that are able to utilize this the most. So with that out of the way, let's head right onto this top 5. Number 5 onto this list is going to be a shocker because it's Holly Bunch. Yes, Holly Bunch is mainly known for hitting very hard, but it actually has a surprisingly good bulk, and even though its health stat is low, it actually works better with Sap Plant, which actually makes Holly Bunch really good. Yes, it can't hit plant types super effectively, but it does have Spectral Burst, which is a very good coverage move. And surprisingly, there are a lot of plant types which are weak to Spectral Burst. Tatov is the big one I can think to mind. Holly Bunch is very bulky, so it really works well. You can run Dodge, you have Nova Blast, which hits hard, and with the special ability Festive Spirit, you actually hit really hard if your energy's at full. The biggest problem with Holly Bunch, though, is that it has a lot of crucial weaknesses that does hold it back. It's quad weak to Dark, so it makes Holly Bunch really hard to use. Not to mention, if you use a Sap Plant, since it uses your energy, it makes your attacking moves do way less damage. And the only way Holly Bunch hits really hard is if your energy is at full. And not to mention, it's just not the most utilizable Sap Plant Loomian compared to the other Loomians on this list. But Holly Bunch is still a very solid Loomian, and it definitely deserves to be in the top 5. Number 4 on this list is actually going to be a pre-evolved Loomian. It's going to be Triathadon. Now, I was mixed to either adding Triathadon or Mulmurk on the list, but I actually went for Triathadon here. Yes, it does have more weaknesses than Mulmurk, but Triathadon is just better defensively. When you combine Drop of Youth with its high melee defense stat, it's a melee wall and a half. It lives multiple hits from 100. It lives a Your Soul Slapdown hit. Your Soul Slapdown hit. Mulmurk can only dream of living a Your Soul Slapdown hit. This could even live a Vesperatu Slapdown hit as well. And since it has Sap Plant, has Outburst to hit really hard, Bulk Up to gain its melee defense up, and Briar Block to chip melee attackers, makes Triathadon one of the best Sap Plant users in the entire game. And the reason why I'm using Triathadon on the list and not Colossotrops is because Colossotrops would usually not run Sap Plant, and it doesn't get access to the Drop of Youth, unlike Triathadon. So Triathadon is just simply better to run this set on. But overall, Triathadon is a very good Sap Plant Loomian, but it doesn't hit the hardest. Outburst is a good move, but it doesn't hit the hardest, and it also has the crucial weaknesses holding it back. So it does barely miss the top 3, but it's still a very good Sap Plant Loomian. Number 3 onto this list is going to be Sprizzy. Technically, this is a two-way tie, as this spot is for Sprizzy and Odasho. I would recommend that we choose Odasho over Sprizzy, but Sprizzy does have some perks. It is a little bit faster, hits a little bit harder, and since this thing also has Provoke, it can actually provoke other Loomians on top of it. Sprizzy can also place Poison Barbs, has very good defense, and just works very well. It even has Life Drain to gain some HP back on top of it. There's a lot of different items you can run on Sprizzy. You can run Life Orb, Health Amulet, Drain Orb. There's a lot of different items you can run on this thing, and with Drain Orb, Sprizzy can gain a lot of health back. And when you combine Hard Candy with Sprizzy and Defensive Priority for Odasho, it makes these Loomians really hard to break on the melee side. The only flaw with Sprizzy is that hard Candy makes it so you have a water weakness. But other than that, Sprizzy's a very good Loomian, and it definitely deserves to be in the top 3 on this list. And I find its Sap Plant utilization better than Florent and Wiki Wiki. That's why Florent is on the list. Yes, it has drainage, but Florent is bad and has really bad weaknesses. As for Sprizzy, it doesn't, and that's why it's in the top 3 on this list. Number 2 onto this list is going to be Stallnecky. Yes, Stallnecky can be ran with Sap Plant. And this set is surprisingly very powerful. Not to mention that the Quicksand variant actually hits harder now. Quicksand does 60 range damage now, which is actually really good for Stallnecky. The fact that Quicksand hits a little bit harder now is really nice for actually breaking through certain Loomians. And then when you combine Sap Plant and Poison on top of that, you have 3 different moves hitting the opposing Loomian. You trap the Loomian in with Quicksand, you Sap Plant them, and then you poison them. That's 3 different status effects that the opposing Loomian is getting hit by. It's so effective, it actually beats an Obsidian while spamming Beast Slumber. And an Obsidian that's spamming Sleep Slumber. That's kind of insane to think about. Usually Obsidian can get all its health back, but it's gradually getting chipped by both the Sap Plant and the Quicksand, which is insane. When you combine Dodge on top of that, that's what makes Stallnecky really good, and it also has some really good immunities. It is quad weak to ice, so that does kind of suck. You do gotta run a fire type with this in order to really make it effective. But that doesn't affect the fact that Stallnecky is still a really good Sap Plant Loomian, and it definitely deserves to be number 2 on this list. But it just barely misses the number 1 slot. The best Sap Plant Loomian in the entirety of the game is Stallfino. This Loomian is pure evil. Sap Plant, Scapegoat, Dodge. This Loomian is super duper hard to beat. It's pretty fast, has solid bulk, and a solid health stat. As you can see, Stallfino cleans up in this match. If this gets a Sap Plant up, it can absolutely destroy teams. It does have an open move pool as well. Your last move can be Provoke to get rid of Provoke users. You could run Dodge. You could run Scapegoat. You can run Sap Plant. It's just a really overpowered Loomian. You can run Slap Down to get rid of items. You can run Frost Beam so you can actually hit those pesky plant types that Sap Plant won't. And you can even run Charade to lower the range defense of the opposing Loomian. There's a lot of different ways you can run Stallfino. You can even run this as a Baffle user if you really want to. So yeah, Stallfino is really annoying to beat, and it's by far the best Sap Plant Loomian in the entire game. This stalls down a Tyrannox. Yes, a Tyrannox. One of the most overpowered Loomians in the game right now. And as you can see, Stallnecky is not a swap-in because it's weak to Ice Beam. So, yeah, there's no contest. Stallfino is the best Sap Plant Loomian in the entirety of Loomian Legacy. And that's why it's number 1. Here it is. Stallfino, the number 1 Sap Plant user. It's so happy you wouldn't think of this thing being number 1, but it makes it. It's the best Sap Plant Loomian in the entire game. I hope you guys enjoyed this top 5 list. If there's some other Sap Plant Loomians that I missed, tell me in the comments below. That's the end of the video, and I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!